Welcome to Black Man, We Hear You. In this episode, we asked a few brothers what are their thoughts around this presidential election. Joining us today, we have Jerome J. Maxwell, Julius Cook, Ashore Person, Elijah Glass, Jeff Belton, and I'm your host, Shadina Shavard.
So, how do you define yourself as a black man?
Well, I feel like, how do I define myself? I feel like we're determined. I feel like we're, focused, outgoing. We persevere, and we're adaptable. We're adaptable as well. And you put us at any place, and we'll figure it out.
Jeff, how do you define yourself as a black man? What defines a black man?
I wouldn't say I define myself. I think that's what everyone else does. How I see myself as a black man is constantly evolving, striving toward different things, accepting the hardships that come with it, and being optimistic. That's how I would say. That's how I see myself as a black man.
Confident black man who just, I gotta deal with some stereotyping here and there, get over the little humps though. It's just like hot water being poured down your back, really. It's just gonna fade away after a while, you understand what I'm saying? So I just say I'm basically full of confidence and, got a lot of heart. I don't know, it's a list. It's a list.
I feel like that's my relationship with America. It's just that, like, in America, they see me as a black man. Like, they don't see me as who I am or who I see myself to be. But what comes with being a black man? And that goes for the years. It's like, okay, there's power, there's strength, there's determination, there's commitment, there's dedication. It's the head of the house, and there's other views like take care of it. Yes, I'm a black man, but it's like you're the leader, but you're also like the martyr. You're also something that people look to destroy, something that people want to be but don't want to see, even though they like seeing it.
Gentlemen, give me one word or phrase that describes your relationship to America.
Disconnected.
Why?
Ain't nobody doing anything good for this country. I never have really. So I feel disconnected. That's how I feel. So my bad if I feel disconnected.
I would say it's complicated. I think in general we don't know anything else but this country. Get it? So the views that we have on this country, in my opinion, I think is where you're at, the time that you grew up, and like how you were raised. I don't think there's people in the South that will have the same experience or outlook that I have. And so I think it's complicated in that sense, in the way that we're responsible for so much that this country, some of the best things about this country, whether it's sports, music, this, that, whatever, that comes for us, but we're not, and everyone loves that, but locking the door when you're walking by, somebody in the car, a lady clutching a pocketbook, but in so many other ways and areas, from fashion to music, sports, like, they love us. So for me, it's complicated because, I think if those people really, really felt that way, things would be easier for the common black person. And I think it varies from where you're at. I think, the more diverse the area is, at least on the surface, people are more accepting, and it makes it a little easier. I think when it's greater numbers of non-minorities that come from a long history of that, like I think it gets really, really complicated. So I guess the best way I can answer this, I think that this is complicated.
It's complicated.
Okay,
So-
yeah. So it's what you're saying is it's limited, pretty much, because
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to say limited, like because like, things can be complicated without any limits. You get it?
yeah.
So I want to say that there's a limit to it.
Okay.
What are your thoughts around this presidential election, and are you inspired to vote?
I'm not.
You're not. Why?
I didn't like the debate.
Say it
I
louder.
didn't like the debate. I didn't like it.
You don't like the debate.
It was they could have had a different approach to that on television.
They can't though. They can't. You know why? That's their personality.
That's their personality. That's the thing.
And the questions that they're gonna get asked, they're gonna finagle a way how not to answer it,
Yeah.
and make it very broad and waste their 2 minutes.
That's exactly what they did first time around.
Well, that's what every politician does.
That's that, yeah.
Well, what have your experience been as black men during this presidential election?
Nobody's speaking to us. They're speaking at us.
Yeah.
And
You know,
Telling us
they
what
are
they're saying.
speaking at us. They're not speaking to us though. You know, they're telling, you know, you got Trump over there, I do everything for the black people.
Yeah.
What? The black people? Okay. What are you talking? But then you have Biden over there, also, you know. Well, first of all, before that, it was I like Bloomberg. Bloomberg was running for president at one time in this, you know, he was in this race, but he's very socially awkward. He doesn't speak. He's very smart. He's a businessman. He started from the ground up. But the way his campaign, going for the black community, it was kind of disrespectful. It was kind of disrespectful, and I felt like they were playing on my intelligence.
Especially
Like,
with
you know,
especially with the track record.
Yeah, it was like, it's insane. Like, so everybody's doing this now about just trying to play to the black vote, but what are you actually going to do? There's plans for everything in finance, but there's no plans for actually what you're going to do for our community, black and brown community. Let me say that.
Ending the presidential elections. However, it doesn't mean I don't vote. I still vote, at least locally. I just have to do my research on who's doing what for this community, who's doing what for other communities, who's trying to conjoin communities, who's working on education, who's working on healthcare, who's working on business, what opportunities where there be for not just myself and not just for the officials actually implementing them, but for everybody as a collective. And honestly, like, I was born into this system where I have to vote, or there's someone that we place in charge to tell me how to live. I didn't agree to pay somebody to tell me how to live my life. I believe I'm a moral enough person with good values that we know how to do things. However, voting in our country is definitely important. It's definitely crucial because every level, not just presidency, but the mayors, governors, the Senate, House representatives, every level, there's something being done, and we just need to be in a know. So that comes with awareness. We just need to be aware and choose the lesser of the two evils, I guess.
Yeah.
Just because there's always opportunity costs no matter which way you go. So just choosing the lesser of the two and praying for the best. That's what
How
I
many
do.
of you plan to vote this November?
I'm definitely voting.
I'm voting.
That's what it is.
I'm voting only because it's hard, but only because, like, we come from a place, like I said already, we're from the Bronx, so I know certain things that's happening. Like, I would rather them change certain laws. I would rather the person that's in charge of just like certain judges be a little bit more lenient about certain things. That's more so important to me than the guy that's dictating to all of Congress, well, not all of Congress, but they're dictating what's happening or what should happen and still flops. Like,
Julius, you look like I heard you suck your teeth and you don't seem so into this part of the conversation. What's going on? What's your thoughts around voting?
I'm still considering. That's why I'm not fully engaged, but I'm still considering.
And what are your thoughts around voting this presidential election? Are you inspired to vote?
Well, what will it take for you to vote? What will make you say, I'll vote?
Change. Just complete change. Good, like, situated change.
Yeah.
All of us.
No, I get that, but we got a month.
Yeah, we do.
So, what I'm saying, what will it take for you to get out there and vote in a month? What would you want to hear, or what would you hope for, or like,
That's what
would you do?
To somebody to say that, like, speak to our community directly, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know, like, what's about to happen, like, what's next up on the front line, what's good, what's gonna come out of it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be able to hear. I ain't hearing nothing, so.
Well,
Is the black male vote important? And why? The black male vote.
Yes, it's
Very important.
pandered to. It's pandered to. You heard Hillary say it before, 4 years ago.
yeah.
I got like she made the Beyonce joke. A hot sauce. Come on. Biden did the same thing on whatever radio station that was. You're not black if you don't vote Biden. It's a pander.
Yeah.
It is disrespectful. It is a pander. We are definitely the most important because I don't want to say it's more of us because it's not, but we dictate a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We dictate a lot, but we're just not in certain rooms. We're not at certain tables.
Yeah.
They pander to us because they know they can get something from us, or they know they can get something out of us.
I felt like I had a vote when I was younger. I mean, I'm not saying I don't feel that way now, but when I was younger, you would hear the stories, like your grandparents or great grandparents not being able to vote, and like people like, I'm born in '69. It's like five years before people were dying, like for these changes, and I grew up with the mentality like that would be real disrespectful. That these people really that actually gave their lives, and all I have to do is go down there and vote. So for me, that's what it did. But what I wish I would have did differently, and what I'm trying to get my sons to do, is make sure that you start at local government. Like, don't come up every 4 years, because a lot of those people at the local level, they're really the ones that's telling the president what to do. Or what can happen or what can't happen. I mean, like, we got this veto crazy guy in executive order, but like that's not the way it would normally run. You get it? It's like if enough people said this is not a good idea, then that wouldn't happen. And those are the people that we need to pay more attention to, because those are the ones I want to say every 2 years they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like what's like put it like this, like the president right now, like Trump. He can say anything. And this is what I want people to understand. He can say anything to get into office. Why? Because he ain't got to worry about being reelected again. He can say anything and not have to come through on any promise. So, right. I mean, not that he came through on anything before, but like at this point in the game, anything he can say anything. You get it? And not have to do one thing. You get it? So like that's why I think like I just wish that like I would have got more involved in my local government when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I just touching on what you were saying, like the thing about local government, you see how our system is set up now, where there's like the Senate and the Congress is like they basically controlling everything. They're like those are basically people that we vote. And the way the Senate is making decisions even with our judges that's and they're on Trump's side. They're scared to go detour against them. Congress, like the Congress, they're scared to detour against him. Mm-hmm. So anything that he says basically goes. And it really has to be checks and balances. And I'm okay with, basically voting on the lower level just so I can have checks and balances. Even if I have to vote outside of my, Democrat or Republican, like I would have to do it because there has to be checks and balances. And where we're at right now, as a country, we don't have checks and balances. Our president says something,
Never will. To an extent. But this time, it's chaos. Our country is in chaos.
Yeah.
We are sitting here watching our country burn and fall apart, and it's something. No matter if they said we would never accept it in this country, our ancestors, going back to what you said, they built this country. They fought for this country, regardless of if they were accepted or not. So it's ours. It's ours. I don't care what anybody. If anybody had to tell, this is not your country. This, go back to where you're from. No, this is ours. We are responsible. Our free labor of our ancestors is responsible for the economy that flourishes the way it does now. There would be no rich,
The civilization, every
every aspect of it.